Hi everyone, it's Natalie. I'm going to be talking about clinical procedures for ectoparasites. But first, a couple things that I'm doing to review for the class is that VT&E app. It's really cool because if you don't study for a few days, it tells you that you haven't studied for a few days. That and reviewing for the class by reading the chapters and reviewing PowerPoints. Okay, so on to ectoparasites. First we have the flea. We all know what they are. The two types are Stenocephalus felis, the cat flea, and Stenocephalus canis, which is the dog flea. But despite what their names are, both can be found on all types of species. The cat flea is more common, and it's also the intermediate host for tapeworms. And the flea life cycle. We all know the flea life cycle. It goes from eggs, larvae, pupas, and adult. And of course, we all know this pyramid where for 5% of the population is adults, there's 50% eggs. So to check for fleas, you need a flea comb and a wet paper towel. You're going to comb the animal through, checking where they like to go by the butt, and then you're going to check it on a paper towel to see if there's flea dirt. Next we have the ticks. There are hard ticks like the brown dog tick, Rocky Mountain wood, American dog, deer, and Lone Star. Each tick is region specific and intermediate host for things like Babesia, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, rickettsia, tularemia, and Lyme disease. Soft ticks are like the spinosus ear tick that can be found in the external ear canal and between the toes. These are the ones that are fun to pop. Spinosus ear ticks can cause irritation and itching. Here in Hawaii, we mainly have the spinosus ear tick and the brown dog tick. The tick life cycle. Of course, it comes from the female, and the female hatches hundreds, thousands, probably not that many, but eggs, which turn into 6-legged larvae, then 8-legged nymphs, and then they go to the adults where they feed and repeat this process. So to check a dog for ticks, you want to first check their ears because the ear ticks like to go in them. And then you want to check between their toes. Those are two spots that ticks like to go. And then you also make sure that you pet them through to make sure you don't find any. And if you do, and then you want to remove them, make sure you remove their entire head and you leave no part of the tick left stuck to their body. Last topic I'm going to talk about is mites. Now there's different types of mites. First, it's a very common thing, ear mites, otodectyocynosis. The ear mites, you find them a lot in the external ear cavity. They cause itching. A lot of cats get them. Okay, so to do an ear mite check, you're going to swab their ear. Oh, your ears are so gross. And you're going to get on your slide, and then you're going to put it on your slide, and then put a little oil on it, and then look under the microscope with that. The second type of mite is fur mites or walking dandruff mites. Now these can be found on rabbits, dogs, and cats, and it lives in the keratin layer of the skin. And then that one is transferred through direct contact. Okay. So to do a tape test, you're going to first have your slide, and you're going to put mineral oil on it. And you're going to get a piece of tape, clear tape, and then wherever the lesion is on the animal, you're going to stick it to it, pick it up, and then put it right on the slide. And then you're going to look under the microscope. Next is Demodex. We all know Demodex because of Wyatt, but to review, it lives deep in the skin, therefore you need to do a deep skin scrape, place it on a slide with mineral oil, and look under the microscope to identify. Last is Sarcoptes scabies. This causes another type of mange. It causes extreme pruritus and alopecia. You also need to do a skin scrape to identify this. It does have a small potential for zoonotic, but it is also species specific.